Leo, this is Jess with your March 1st to the 15th, 2018 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Leo, what I'm getting from you guys is that there is a new dawn and a new day. Absolutely. And you guys know it too. You know it. There has been a turn of tide, albeit now some of you may feel as though I don't feel a turn. I don't feel the tide turning for me. Well, everything happens according to one's energy and where they happen to be in the scope of, energetic charting, right? So some of you may be a little bit behind what others are now feeling, and you may be able to feel this within 3 weeks, 3 days, or even 3 months out. Okay. It may not hit you until the month of May, but there is this new dawn approaching. A lot of you, I feel you can feel that happening. Now, I do see a shift and change as it relates to partnership. And for me, at this particular moment, as I'm speaking, it's coming through for partnerships in work or business. Some of you Leos, you may have had a situation where if you were in a working environment, work was going really well. You may have had a partnership to some extent, or you have came aboard to a new business or stayed at your own job. Like you may have went to a different department, but work, day-to-day work was going kind of well. Okay. Working with a particular person or in that environment for a little while was going okay. Or some of you had a partnership, a business partnership with someone that was going pretty good. It was a really good partnership with that person. And it seems that there is now a new dawn, a new opportunity to go into a different direction. Okay. So for some of you, it will manifest where there's a new partnership with a person that you're going to decide to either there was a breakup. There's an opportunity for you to go your own way with this. And I feel that you guys have been mulling this over. Should I start this new job? Should I start a new business on my own and disconnect from working a 9 to 5 so I could really focus on my business? Do I disconnect from this partnership with this person and go at it on my own? Do I start something new with a completely new person? So there's this newness. And I do feel like at some point there was this separation of sorts. So some of you may have lost a job. Some of you may have fallen out with a business partner. Some of you may have disconnected with the idea of going at it on your own. So there was some disappointment, or some of you could have started something new only to be disappointed in the energy, effort, and financial investments that you've made. It did not necessarily amount to what you wanted it to be. But now I feel that some of you, if you had to disconnect from that partner, if you had to leave that job, if you have had disappointment in starting something new and it didn't go the way that you had hoped, there's this new understanding and this almost like a new energetic breath of life, knowing that now things are going to move forward. If you have had any shortcomings in the past, financially, it looks like things are going to start moving forward for you. Seems like your finances are going to be kind of moving forward now, lifting. If there was some burdens, that's going to be lifting from you. If you've been down and out and feeling a bit depressed because of a partnership going sour, of a company that didn't work out, seems like you guys have gotten your what do they call it? You've gotten your mojo back. You've gotten your mojo back. And I feel like at one point you were feeling as though you would kind of do anything to keep things the way that it was. Okay. Keep the partnership going, stay at that company, fight for this new, way of doing business for yourself or starting something new that became a bit of a disappointment. You still was fighting in your heart very feverishly to make it all work and to keep it the way that it was. However, the reality is that through the ups and downs of that partnership, of that, not getting callbacks or it not going well with the company, your business not getting off the ground, through your finances doing a topsy-turvy, up 1 minute, down the next. I feel behind the scenes, you guys was still working, perhaps with someone else, still working in different areas for things to kind of fall into place. And it's almost as if it's like a click, 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 and then everything kind of is clicking into place for you now. So if you had to disconnect from a partner, you guys are like, okay, fine, it's fine. I'm moving on. You may have reconnected with someone from your past or something that's familiar to you. You may have decided to go back to something that works and now you're not trying to fix it. And through that, there's now this understanding, and you may have always had that. So it's like, I always have this. I could always go back to this. You know, this is my tried and true. Or I could always go back to this person. I could always count on them. So there's this element of having to go back or deciding to go back to something that maybe a lot of people don't know about or you've not shared, that has proven to be quite successful. With that, I feel that you're going to, as we get into the third week of March, start to feel more financially sound again, especially if you were having some issues financially. And I do feel like there's some type of contractual agreement. If you had a partnership with one person that didn't go so well, this time around, whatever problems that you didn't foresee happening, you've learned from that. And I feel this time around, whatever new partnerships, new job, new way of doing business comes about, you will handle it in a way that crosses your T's, dots your I's, so that this particular contractual agreement or decision that's being made will be one that will bode well for you. Okay. And I do feel like a lot of your ships will be coming in. Obviously, I'm speaking of the Three of Wands. So this will be a very favorable time for you in the month of March, the first 3 weeks, 3 days, or all of March. For some of you, it will be very beneficial. All of the time, energy, effort, the ups and downs, the sitting back and trying to see what is going to work out, what's not, is everything is going to start to fall into place, and you're going to start seeing things come in. Now, the advice with all of this is for you, although you have this very strong will, you're going to have a lot of will, very much a lot of strong will for the next 10 days up until, 2.5 months, that your will be very strong and you'll be able to take on a lot. Okay. Just know that I'm trying to get a little bit more clearer. I'm sorry, guys, for even. This is going to bring you to that complete new beginning. It's almost like you can feel it, you can taste it, you can touch it, but you're almost there. You're not 100% there. So continue to stay the course, continue to, work hard and kind of keep your head down, play it safe, be cool, because, and keep your eye on the prize, which is what you guys are really good at doing, because it's coming. Okay, you're going to be at that place, and you probably will feel it the 20th of March. Okay, 2 weeks in, you'll start to either get a message, hear something, or by the end of March, where things are like, okay, I literally, I'm at a clean slate. I'm starting all over again. Possibly once we get into the mid-month reading, I may start to see more aces coming out in your spread, which literally speaks of a new beginning. So just continue to do what you're doing. You're not completely there, as I'm sure you guys can contest to that, but it's almost there. Now, I do see that some of you may be having to defend your right or defend an aspect of how you are as a person. Some people, however you do business, at the workplace, your own business. I feel this reading is very strongly for Leos that have their own businesses, doing something independently, or maybe working with a partner. I get partnerships very strongly here. You're defending someone or defending your right to be who all you can be. Okay. If someone is building themselves up through a partnership with you, you may feel like you've carried them long enough. You've carried them, for them to get to this place. And you may feel like, I'm ready to kind of dump this with you. I'm ready to just kind of dump you and be free again, because I do better on my own. So some of you, you are at this crossroads of, I'm going to go at it alone. I'm no longer going to do a partnership. And I do see that very clearly. Okay. Some of you are really going to want, it may take you 3 months before you finally come to terms with it and take that plunge, but you're starting to be more solidified in the idea and the decision that you're going to do it on your own. You may do it for a short period of time. It may be a whole nother person that's influencing this decision that you're making, but it's almost like you're going to disconnect from one too attached to the other for some of you, okay? Or it is because you're becoming a little bit more practical about things, or you've learned some lessons in the past that your now new direction will be completely to yourself, okay, on your own. Now, as far as your finances are concerned, it looks like you've got to be very, I feel, very careful. You should be using your intuitive side to judge how much money should you spend. If you feel like right now I really don't have it, I really shouldn't, I'm not 100% at that place where I could just spend, then you shouldn't spend, because it really will speak to you, losing money. I do feel like you're in an upswing, possibly the full month or the first week of this month. You may feel like you're in an upswing. Things are kind of working, or some ideas or news that's come to you that you feel like, okay, things are better off now than not. Okay. But I feel like it's not into that third week that you really start to feel like, okay, I'm back on track. And that'll happen once it starts to happen for you. It will go for a month and a half where you'll feel like things are really working for me. Everything I kind of touch kind of works out for me. But again, remember what I said, you're not out of the woods yet. So just continue to work hard. Now, there's some feeling like someone feels like something's not fair. Something needs to be settled. Something needs to get balanced. Someone needs to compromise. There's some issues here, I feel, with that, because again, there's some disappointments. I feel you guys have been feeling wronged, or someone's telling you that you've wronged them, but there's some issues with again, someone not feeling right. They may have felt like you've done something behind the scenes. You've been very secretive about some dirty dealings or some backhanded dealings when it relates to money. Okay. And you guys feel like you're going to come out on top. Like you're saying, I'm going to be fine at the end of this. And in the month of March, if that is the case, if somebody say, yeah, I did some things that aren't necessary, I'm not 100% proud of, but I needed to do this, you will feel like you've come out on top, albeit you'll never admit to it. You'll never admit to whatever you've done to get where you are, but you'll feel like, at the end of the day, it was worth me doing this. Okay. And I did it for this. I did it. You'll have your own reasons why you did it. I did it, to solidify myself. I did it for my mom. I did it for the mother of my children. I did it for my family. I've done, there's reasons behind why you're doing this, and you feel like it's for the greater good, betterment of you or others. Okay. But there is karma attached to this. There's karma attached to it. So you have to be very careful with that. I'm just, putting that out there. Now, as it relates to love, I feel that there's a partnership here that you have been evaluating and doing checks and balances of this relationship for a very, very long time. Okay. I do feel like there's a mutual love between the two of you. This is a mutual love here, but you're and this is past energy. You've been trying to decide, do you continue with this? Do you move on, perhaps with another, or just by yourself? Just give yourself some time to be alone. And I feel like some of you, albeit you may have had some disappointment, some separation, a fallout to some extent, the temporary separation from your mate, you may be feeling like you just kind of want to be free. I get free energy. And some of you may be really wanting, so I'm going to take it in a realm of a relationship at this time. If you have some form of a relationship with another person, you may really have wanted to get back to a love that, like, some of you are just really wanting some love, a feeling of love that you've had from the past. And you may be trying to rekindle that with the person that you had it with. So some of you could be finding yourself taking a reprieve. And I know I left off, I think, with Leo's last reading, saying that you guys are really going to kind of want to get turned loose. And now here it is looking like you want to get turned loose. But I do see like you wanting a reprieve, or you want to take a breath from whatever's going on in your life, whether you're in a relationship, that you are someone that has to be responsible for other people. You want to take a breath to kind of be a kid again, to be free, to be to have a moment to self, to reconnect with a love, or getting into something that you really love, or someone that gave you a sense of love. And it looks like from your past. Okay. And you've been kind of trying to mold this over. How am I going to do this? How is this all going to work, for a long time, and keep it a huge secret? So some of you may be eventually making a trip within the first 6 days of the month trying to reconnect with someone. Okay. Now, if you're doing that and you're already in a relationship, clearly you're going to create a huge dichotomy here of there being, obviously a cheating scenario, third party scenario, and one that is going to create more issues for you down the line. Although I don't feel like in the month of March, no one will be the wiser, or no, you won't get caught. Let's say that, but it's going to create more of a burden on you. And I feel like at this time, for some reason, you feel justified because perhaps maybe the person that you're with, you feel like you do enough for this person, and you deserve to feel good too. You deserve happiness too. You deserve to fulfill your needs, whatever that is now as well. So there's that. Now you have the others of you. If you're single, you've went through your heartbreak, you've went through your pain, and now some of you are ready to go back out again. But your heart is saying that, hey, you kind of still want to look that person up from your past that perhaps you started something with, but it never amounted to anything, but it kind of felt really good. You may find yourself after a time of decision making or not really being sure because your emotions was all over the place, having now enough confidence to either reach out to that person or accept, because someone could be also coming back into your life out of nowhere as well, saying, hey, I want you. Where are you? I miss you. I'm just checking on you. So a lot of you may be hearing from past relationships, which makes sense because we have Mercury about to retrograde. So that always brings people back out. And I believe it's in Aries. So people doing this in a fairy, people doing it, unabashed, like they only care about themselves and what they want in this moment, kind of is very befitting of Aries energy. So with that, for you singles, you may entertain, although I feel for some of you Leo ladies, you may do it very cautiously, but you may entertain the idea of, yes, I'll, entertain this person because I do, want that spark back again. Or, I am able to kind of just get swept up in the moment of feeling good and youthful and things being fun, that sort of thing. And I feel when we get into the second and third week of the month, there's going to be a decision that needs to be made. And you may find that this person comes into your life. If it's a Leo woman, you have to be very careful, because I feel that you could get pregnant very quickly. And then if you get pregnant, the person isn't going to want to have anything to do with you. He won't want to commit. Or if you're not going to get pregnant, then in the second or third week, you may find yourself wanting to really commit to this. Like, you really want something more than just to have fun. And you'll find, if you're dealing with a male, that he's not necessarily going to be completely on board with that, because he is very self-focused right now. Leo men, I do feel like you could be the ones trying to step out of relationships, justifying it with feeling like, hey, I pay the bills, I do this, I do that, I can have fun, I'm going to feed myself. It's very desirous time for you, very desirous energy. And be very careful, because you will have more on your hands than you bargained for if you engage with someone, because there's going to be a contractual interaction, some type of contractual bond that you're going to get into with this person, that it won't be easily broken. And it's something that, again, I feel will prove to be more difficult down the line than you can kind of see. So if you're single, be very careful with the people that you're meeting. It gives me temporary energy, especially for Leo women. Leo men, if you're not wanting to commit, be very clear about that, because I feel like you will be attracting women that are very fertile, and they're looking for more than just to have a good time. Okay. So that is what I see for your 2 weeks of March. I hope that this has been clear. For some reason, I'm giving a lot of signs, a long reading, but I hope that a lot of you can kind of resonate from what I'm saying, and there's messages here, so definitely take those with you. If you would like to share with us how this resonates, please do so in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. If you would like something personal with me, I can be reached in the description box below. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Leo.